The Masters, Mike. There was all kinds of awesome stories with all of this.
Absolutely.
You know, of course, there's Tiger Woods. It's the parallel of Tiger Woods and Phil Mickelson. Tiger with all of his marital situations, and Phil standing, with his wife, standing by her with cancer. There she is afterwards. What a neat scene.
It really was, yeah.
There's other stories, and we're going to mention a few of those as we talk here. But Phil Mickelson wins a third green jacket. Can we get rid of the green label? He's not a choke artist anymore,
Third Masters, fourth major championship. I mean, I think one of the things that happens with Phil Mickelson is he suffers by comparison with Tiger Woods throughout his career. Maybe this week there was kind of comeuppance for that because he kind of was cast favorably in the comparison with Tiger Woods. But the thing with Phil Mickelson that I think is underrated is his mental toughness. Because what you want as a golfer is to be perfectly in the moment, in the present, at all times. This shot right now is the only thing in the universe. Forget what just happened. Forget what happened next. Forget what's going on away from the golf course, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. And he is great at that. He's not just good at that. He is great at that. And he gets. I think this comparison between him and Tiger's personality, where he's thought of as sort of this flighty airhead. He's out there high-fiving the fans and has this goofy grin on his face all the time. And regardless of how he gets it done, he manages to focus and focus on that next shot and be in the moment as well as any golfer in the world. And I think one of the things people often say, well, Phil is the second most talented golfer of his generation. He's also the second most accomplished golfer of his generation. And the most accomplished golfer of his generation might be the most accomplished golfer of any generation. So I think in that sense, I think this is going away a little bit, this stigma that Phil has, and I think that's correctly so.
Also interesting, his daughter broke her arm or had an injury to her arm.
Wrist injury, yeah, roller skating.
During the tournament, he goes and uses the X-ray machine that night. Talk about focus.
He is mega family man, or at least he appeared to be this week.
Golf has needed a rivalry with Tiger for a while. He's sort of been him head and shoulders above the rest. I kept saying he needs a rival. Some guys have emerged over the years. Ernie Els was there for a little bit, Vijay Singh. But to have Mickelson do what he did here, plus now, not just the golfing ability, but family life, where here's the guy who stays by his wife with cancer, the big support, and you got Tiger doing the opposite. It could lead to a really good rivalry between these two now that golf really could use.
It could happen, and I think that, but I don't think we want to get carried away with this one result and assume that it's going to happen. Number one, even everybody thinks of like Arnold Palmer and Jack Nicklaus had this great rivalry. Well, they actually went head-to-head on Sunday in a major like twice. I mean, it doesn't happen that much, and that's just the nature of golf that it's not going to happen that much. And the other thing is, we're sort of crudely saying, well, Phil succeeded and Tiger failed. Under the circumstances, what Tiger did this weekend to me was one of the top 10 most impressive things in his career. I cannot believe not only all the stuff that was swirling around him, which is maybe unprecedented in the history of sports, but if you watch the way he hit the golf ball on the weekend and shot 5 under par, it's almost unbelievable. I think the way he manages to score, regardless of where he hits it and how he hits it, is one of the most amazing things that I have ever seen in sports. It's insane the way this guy can find a way to get the ball in the hole no matter what.
Talk about focus. Golf is a focused sport. He had a lot going on in his life.
You
focused
think?
Pretty well. Give me a grade. How did he do?
On the golf course, A. I don't think there's any question about it. I don't care if he swears. That's completely, and I don't care about his personal life except as it relates to golf. The way his career is going to play out now, there's so many things that go into it. And I said before we started this, we could do 11 segments on this Masters. I'm just on a roll about this, but how his career is going to play out from here forward is just a really interesting thing to me, and it doesn't have much to do with the tabloid stuff.
For 10 seconds, that's all we got about left.
All right.
16-year-old, what do you got to say about that?
I can't believe that a 16-year-old won the Masters. Tiger is considered maybe the all-time sports prodigy. There's no way on God's green earth that Tiger makes the cut in the Masters at the age of 16. That might have been the single most impressive thing that happened this week.